Welcome to the Creative Brew, helping you keep your creative juices brewing. We're giving out chunks of insight, motivation, and practicality for your creative journey. If you're a creator, athlete, or entrepreneur, luck can only get you so far. Having the right skill sets are critical in your success. All Skill No Luck makes handcrafted, custom-designed flannel wear, made in the United States and based here right in Oceanside, California. They pride themselves on quality, creativity, and attitude. The perfect brand for the Creative Brew. Use promo code CreativeBrew10 and get 10% off and free shipping within the United States. You can check them out at allskillnoluck.com. My next partner is Elevate Coffee Trading, and if you appreciate specialty coffee, enjoy outdoor adventure, and love helping elevate the lives of children around the world, then you're going to love Elevate Coffee Trading. Their mission is to extract hope through love, coffee, and adventures. There's free shipping in the United States, and every bag of coffee helps sponsor health and education for children in coffee-producing countries and in areas of need in the United States. You can use promo code Elevate21 on your next order, and you can follow their journey on social media at Elevate Coffee Trading. Or you can visit online at elevatecoffeetrading.com, and let's start extracting hope together. Hey, this show is brought to you by Tennessee Grappling Apparel, based out of the Knoxville area. Lifestyle wear for the modern wrestler or grappler. Use the promo code CB10 on your next purchase at TennesseeGrapplingApparel.com. And we're back with a new episode of the Creative Brew, giving you insights on your creative journey. Today, we have a very talented person. Like I said, I got the chance to meet him at the Oceanside Gala, actually the Oceanside Theatre Gala fundraiser, and got referred to him by a good friend of mine, Meg Pierce. And so, yeah, it's always, for me personally, it's always good to be able to connect with a lot of different artistic talents here in Oceanside and in North County and San Diego area. So it's always, for me, it's always a joy to be able to get insight into people's stories, how they got to where they are now, their creative insights, what keeps them going, what just all kinds of things like that, what keeps them inspired. So this man had a long list of accolades. I'm not gonna read them all. I will let him share his story, but he is a very talented individual, and like I said, I'm very pleased to be able to present Kevin Blax Burroughs, the Associate Artistic Director with the Oceanside Theatre Company. So, Kevin, I'll let you take it away. Just share your story, a little bit about you, and we'll go.
Yeah. Like I said, Kevin Blax Burroughs is my name. Artist name is Blax. BLAX, like the color with an X, because you want to be different and cool. Who knows? Born and raised in San Diego, California, like Paradise Hills, Spring Valley area. Moved to Escondido for work, then moved back down to La Mesa, and then now I'm living in La Mesa but driving to Oceanside for work. It's great, back and forth all over. I've been in the arts kind of my whole life. I started off as the church productions with the family and the little do the dances in the background kind of kid, and then found out I could sing. Sure, I guess you want to call a child actor as a singer. I don't know. And then kind of just went into, I was like, all my family is just singers. I'm gonna play instruments. I'm gonna be different. So I played saxophone for 5.5 years. I said, this is boring. I'm gonna go back to singing, dancing, and went to the San Diego School of Creative Performing Arts, SDSCPA in Paradise Hills. It's a arts-focused school. They have now a major system like colleges and the conservatories do. A lot of names from like Charles Brown from Broadway or Sada Ramirez from, oh my God, what's that show? TV shows and Broadway and movies, and they're kind of all over. And I found directing and choreography and production side of the aspect of theater later in my career, but still that's where I am now. and I've kind of never stopped. I've been doing it all my life. I've been in the arts world, performance in some kind of performance venue my entire life.
Oh wow, wow. So so from your list of accolades, so you're the Craig Noel Award winner. Tell me a little bit about that because like I said, I am me actually starting to get into the theater presence here and starting to know people. Tell me, and for people that don't know, we have a very rich theater industry here in San Diego. A lot of history, a lot of great performers. So tell me a little bit about that. The Craig Noel Award. What is that?
Yeah, the Craig Noel Awards are a yearly thing. We just brought, or not we, San Diego just brought it back last year after COVID and trying to like ease back into things. It's presented by the San Diego Theater Critics Circle, a group of reviewers and theater goers who vote on who should be voted the best, insert whatever here. It's a yearly thing, very prestigious award. I was very surprised when I got the award of outstanding specialty artist. Basically, what I've been telling people is I got an award for being really, really, really busy. Because last year in 2022, I was performing in like 3-4 shows. I designed lighting for about, I don't know, 15-ish events and shows, dance concerts, directing and choreography, kind of just doing almost everything, which is what I love to do. Like I said, I started off as a performer, branched out into choreography, branched out into direction, and then taught myself how to do lighting, which I'm really proud about. It's not every day that you can teach something so technical, and now to be able to say that I'm awarded in that area of some capacity is kind of crazy, a little bit. But yeah, so the 2022 recipient of the Outstanding Specialty Artist of you did a lot of stuff, here you go. It's kind of what the award was in a sense.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now I took personally for me, I took theater design in college. And so I sort of have an affinity with theater. Me, I'm more in the graphic design branding side of it. But I really didn't realize that, even taking the course, I really didn't realize, and going to different productions, that the technical and production aspect is just as important as the creative, actually creating the script, getting, everything together. The production, the lighting, which I saw was very huge. The lighting can be so important because you need that ambiance to to be able to portray the mood of the story. So yeah, doing something like that, especially the lighting, is for whatever people think, it is very. I can't even imagine how tough it actually is to actually get the right lighting and getting the spotlights on various actors, scenarios, all kinds of things like that. So
lighting it itself, I'm still learning new things every time I do a show. Every time I'm working on another play or another musical or a dance concert, I'm learning something new every single time. I did a dance concert for Southwestern College in Chula Vista, and one of the pieces last year was a 15-minute Jose Limon piece. Very gorgeous piece, very long, 15 minutes. It took me 4.5 hours to light that one piece.
Wow.
To get it just right, to get it all the mood shifts and all the specific, there's a lift here, let's light that one person in the lift, and like just the timing of the piece. Working with the choreographer was really crucial, and it needed to be perfect, but that's just an example of like that one piece of a dance concert took me 4.5 hours to light. Granted, I'm not perfect. I'm not the best light designer in the world. I'm not, going around the world to work on lighting, but to be given that opportunity and trusted with that kind of work and that kind of task, is still a kind of a, I still think about that. I'm like spending till midnight trying to write cues of like, I gotta go back, gotta go time it again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a long process, but it's so rewarding in the end to see the overall vision finally come to life in front of your eyes.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So with you being the associate artistic director for Oceanside Theater, what's your vision? How did people? I mean, how did and I know you've been working with various other theater companies. How did you get connected with Oceanside Theater? And then what's your your vision for as far as from your role? What do you see?
Yeah. So I started my relationship with OTC. I have my own company, Teatro San Diego. That I'm a co-founder for and the artistic director for. It's a small company. We only do one show a year, so it's not like a big, huge thing. But we did a streamed version of a production called Songs for Your World during COVID.
Okay.
OTC, Ted Lieb, he saw the production and then said, great, I loved what you did with this show. I loved what your vision was and your just the production as a whole. Why don't we bring it up here to a live audience? And I was like, sold, done, easy. So that was my first time working with OTC. Going fast forwarding a year or two, I would hear some stuff. I talked to people here, but I got a call saying, hey, we would love to basically have an interview with you about bringing you on as associate artistic director. And I was, again, like, sold, sign me up. And so now I'm here. Long story short, obviously. But as far as artistically for this space, right now, my main job, if you want to call it that, is to pick the season for next year, for 2024. I've got a lot of ideas. I've got some crazy ones, some ambitious ones, of course, because I'm me. But I just want, and not just specifically OTC, but I want the theater world in a whole to be a little more open to take risks.
Could you? I didn't know if you could give us an ideal without necessarily saying what you're wanting.
Yeah, without giving the idea, because it hasn't been decided fully yet. But just one of my ideas is like when you go to a theater, you think of sitting in a chair and just watching a live screen, basically. I don't like that as much. I want to be engulfed in the experience. I don't want to just sit. I can watch a screen at home, It's obviously a screen versus live is different, but to be engulfed and engaged with the audience, literally bringing them into the show, hint, hint, is something that I'm interested in. And it's not something we need to do every single time, but to have that one show of the year that's just like, wow, this was really, really different. Because not to say that the normal ways of theater aren't bad. Like they've been working for thousands of years, that ideology. But to also not be afraid to be interactive, hint, hint. And just kind of like surrounded by all the action. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Now that you bring up a great point, because this is, and I feel like this is from me coming into the theater, industry and starting to know, the people there. Do you feel like, I mean, and what you're wanting to do, I feel like would be a great ideal. Do you feel like that's needed now with maybe new audience or maybe people that's being introduced into the theater and, they already have that, that image in their mind, like, hey, I'm going in, this is supposed to be it's going to be high art, you're supposed to sit down and go through the whole play, watch the whole play and have this, linear experience, or I didn't know if you had in mind as far as like, how do you bring in, new people that may have, may not have been able to ever experience theater before, like getting them engaged to watch something like that or seeing art maybe for the first time.
I think it's all about, or it's not, I can't say it's all about, there's many different ways to bring someone new into the space. I was talking to our managing director, Alex Goodman, about how do we service a broad pool of people. Not everyone's going to like the same thing. Not this type show A might not bring interest to person B and person C. They'll be just person B, So you have to think of ways to, in the season, to have multiple opportunities for someone to get, I want to see that. I want to see that. That might not be for me, but this show, that's for me. just kind of giving a full variety of things, which is also what OTC does very well. They have improv classes every Saturday. They have improv shows. They have bands coming in, tribute bands, dance concerts. Like they have the variety of, or I shouldn't say we have a variety of just opportunities of different kinds of art. With our main stage season, I'm trying my best to find a season that's well balanced in different genres and styles, with that kind of respect of like, this is still theater, but it's exciting, it's new. A lot of the times you'll see stuff on Broadway right now. Perfect example, Back to the Future, the musical. You would never think that would work, but it does. And I promise you it does. I haven't seen it, but I've heard the music, I've heard reviews. Like, you would never think that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drive a DeLorean and go back in time in a musical form. But it's exciting and it's selling out houses every night. Do I think every movie should be musical? No, but you know, the option of having that kind of like really taking a risk idea, that's exciting because you want to see it. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Is it going to be really, really good? Is it going to be really, really bad? I want to know, you know. I think people are interested in, sadly, things going wrong, you know, because it's again, it's exciting. Not to say that OTC will go wrong, but that idea of just trying something new, I think is really exciting, both to me and the regular person. I think people have, the regular person walking down the street is going to see a title of a show and say, okay, they're doing a show, whatever. But to, for example, and this is not a real thing, but to say like, I don't know, insert movie title here, John Wick the musical, like, you know.
I would go watch that.
Exactly, see my point, exactly. To have that kind of like shock factor, you know, the initial shock factor to be like, what? This is a thing? Oh, I'm going to see this kind of thing. Like it just brings you in, and then you can go back and try to like show them the classics, you know, like this is the other kinds of theater, but this is what we're gonna pull you in with. Yeah.
Yeah.
But John Wick the musical, hey, write it. Let's go.
that would pack it out. That would pack out. So, like I said, you mentioned briefly that you run your own theater company, and I can attest for any, you know, entrepreneur, solopreneur, anybody that's starting their own thing. I do it myself. I know you've had to use some kind of creative power to, especially if you had budgetary restraints or, you know, just making things happen. Do you want to elaborate just times where you made something happen with absolutely nothing and, you know, and produced magic?
Yeah, it's a lot of times newer theater companies don't have money. Mm-hmm. Theater companies period don't really have money, but especially when you're in your first 5 to 10 years, the budget is really low. For that company specifically, we started, like our set was the walls of the theater, and we rented out the space, OnStage Playhouse in Chula Vista, and they let us just paint graffiti on the walls. That was our set. It was the visual of using what we have and don't have. We didn't have elaborate set pieces and beds and walls and trees and all the stuff. We just used what was there and some buckets of paint, and it told the story fantastically. I'm a little biased, obviously, but you know, but that sometimes visuals. Let me backtrack. Sometimes simplicity is a better visual than the elaborate sets that cost billions of dollars. There's sometimes some shows that I see pictures of or see videos of, or even live, where I'm just like, I'm so taken out of this story because I'm worried about if the set piece is going to work right, you know, if it's going to fit or if it's going to turn on the turntable correctly, and so much technical aspect. But sometimes, a lot of times, simple is much, much better. So I think it's a benefit in a sense sometimes, because depending on the story, you might need an elaborate set. For example, played a goes wrong or Peter Pan that goes wrong. It's super elaborate and it's really, really technical. If you're not in the right spot, you can get hurt, kind of thing. Set pieces falling perfectly and in time. But a show like Song Train the World, which is just storytelling in a song, you don't need 14 staircases and a bunch of walls and stuff. You just need the storytelling aspect. So I think that's like I said, the simplicity of monetary frustrations and constrictions. It's not always a bad thing, you know.
Yeah, that's what I know. Just from a creative, even from anyone that's creating anything. There's actually a book I read not too long ago. It just talked about having, your power is in restrictions, like knowing that, hey, this is what you have. I want you to figure out how to make it. And that's why, I come from single family home, with my mom, and I can technically even parents that's having to run houses by themselves. It's like you have to be creative. Like you may have like your restraint may be this, like, and you figure out ways of making it work. So yeah, I think I've always been in that mindset of figuring out like, this is what I have. And being creative enough to make it happen. So I definitely wanted to get your insight on that, especially when you're running your own thing, and then even like I said, being the artistic director, I know there's going to be things you may have to like, hey, we may have to adjust on this or that. So I just wanted to see what your insight was on that, because I think people do need to hear that. Sometimes people feel like I've got to have all this, all these funds to make something great, and sometimes sometimes simpler is the most powerful medium. So right now, what's inspiring you right now? Like I said, you're a multi-talented someone that do you're doing all these different things. What things are you pulling from for inspiration? And it could be anything. It's really
That's a loaded question. I honestly like a lot of this is like the really cheesy, corny answer, but a lot of my friends and family and what they're doing in their passions, not even just specifically with the arts, but like passions about I'm going to run a business about candles, like that. I think the passion that people are having is what's keeping me. It's reminding me that yes, although it's a job, you have to make sure that it's not a job by the way you feel, if that makes any sense. Of like, you have the passion for this art, yet you are working at 9 to 5 on this art. It's not really an art because you love to do it. I was talking with a friend who just stage managed their first show ever, and they want to be a stage manager, and kind of going through that aspect of, wow, I finally get to do this. And they've been wanting to do it for so long, and they're being paid to do it. It's like, it's that extra level, having their dreams come true in a sense. That's seeing that kind of stuff with my friends and family. It's like, wow, wake up call of like, wait, this isn't just a job. You get to do this for a living, And I think that's kind of the big thing that's really getting me up in the morning. Like that and my dog, but Yeah, passion's a big word for me right now.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, there's a lot to realizing that people can actually make a living from their own creative pursuits. That's an amazing thing. Not a lot of people get a chance to do that. Some people think about it or dream about it, but actually keep going in and saying, I am actually in this space working and creating certain things and getting paid to do it is actually pretty cool. I know there's things that I always have to contend with, and then at the same time, when I talk to I talk to a lot of students, high school students, in their design classes and everything, and understanding like I'm a voice and an inspiration for them, like knowing, hey, look, you can actually make this happen. So it's for whatever tough times you do have, especially when anybody that's a creative entrepreneur, having the really the opportunity and the gratitude to say, look, I get to work in in the thing that I'm passionate about. I mean, that's a it can be really rewarding,
Yeah.
knowing that. So
Yeah. And you also just said like talking to high school students and like showing them it's doable. I never went to college.
mhm.
I never wanted to go to college. I graduated high school and I said, never again, not for me. um, but I took off. I thought about going to like a community college or something just to get some kind of something. But I took the time off because again, I'm an 18-year-old kid. Like I want to do what I want to do now. I auditioned for a show and I got that show. I got the role. I'm already to myself. I said, if I'm already getting cast in things and getting work outside of high school, directly out of high school, I think I'll be fine. And so from then on, I kind of made myself a what's the word like a beacon, I guess, if you want to use that word, of like or an example. There we go. Of you can be successful in your passion, specifically theater, without having a college degree. Because I think a lot of students think that you have to go to college to be successful in theater. Um, I know a couple of people on Broadway personally that didn't go to college, but they're literally on Broadway right now. And it's colleges. I don't. This is a not a touchy subject, but it gets me a little bit. That going into college and being forced to get a bunch of loans and being all this debt and all this stuff is worth it. Is it though? Is it really worth it? Because why suffer so much later on just because right now someone told you to say, hey, go to a 4-year college because you need to do this for your career. If it's more administrative, sure, I can get that. But if you're trying to be an actor, there's no rule in the world that says you need a college degree to be starring in a movie somewhere. It doesn't say that. So to say that at 28 years old, I'm in a leader position at a professional theater company and own my own company and get hired literally all over San Diego. I'm kind of bragging now, but it's okay. like it's doable. It's very, very doable. I mean, I'm still pushing myself to this day to make sure that it's real because I'm blessed to have worked all over San Diego and have these connections with people from Broadway and across the pond and all this kind of stuff at such a young age. I don't know of anybody in my position at my age that has this opportunity without a college degree. So I kind of want to, for all the students out there watching, it's like it's okay to not go to college because it's doable. You can make a career in your living in your passion without a college degree.
Yeah, I think
I wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, that's a great point because that was the thing that some of the teachers, even the kids talking to them, like a lot of them don't want to go to college, and I mean I can understand that, and even now with the amount of information, just with online and all the resources you have available, I mean
Right.
you really don't. I mean, unless you're going for something specific, I can understand that. But as far as in the artistic, sphere, digital media, theater, and like I said, you're a testament to it. You really don't have to. So I think that that stigma is slowly sort of breaking down, feeling like you have to
I agree.
do that after high school. And I think more kids are getting bolder with saying, hey, look, I don't want to do this. This is what I want to do. Actually, I actually heard something from Matthew McConaughey. I think it might have been in his book or something where he talked about he was in college and he was in acting theater class or acting class, and he was already getting acting gigs already. And he was telling his teachers, look, why am I in here right now? I'm
Why am I
already
here?
and he talked about, hey, look, just give me a C, and just negotiate with him, saying that, look, this scenario, I'm actually getting real work experience,
Right.
and you're teaching. This is the stuff that you're teaching. So yeah, I think it's one of those where, yeah, I think a lot of people are, they're wanting to go out, stake out on, get that experience. Because I know I learned, even being in the design spectrum, school doesn't teach you everything. You
Right.
learn the foundations, but You actually learn when you get your experience, your real work experience, and that's how you
Yeah.
learn and grow.
Yeah, the hands-on experience. Yeah.
Yep. So
No, I don't. I just feel like no one can teach you to be creative. That's inside of you.
Mhm.
Like you can give you the tools to help that creativity build, but the actual ideas that come in your head don't come from a book. They don't come from words. They come from your mind creating that thought. But we can talk about college all day long.
Yeah, no, that's for another episode. That's for
Yeah.
So right now, creative tips, and this is something that I ask all my guests. What is a creative tip or tips that you can provide our audience? This can pertain to theater, creativity, life, doesn't matter. I consider all of it art. What is a creative? What's a creative tip?
I think my number one thing is just don't be afraid to ask questions. I think a lot of people worry about, oh, are they going to be angry or bothered by me or annoyed if I ask this one question one more time? Like people like me, for example. I'm put in a position to give opportunity and to teach the future people coming in. Like if I have knowledge to give, I will give it. If you have to ask me 14 times, ask me 15 times, just to be sure. You know, I think questions are how things get answered, obviously, but don't realize that like you have to experience it hands-on with also asking, how do I do this? And is it okay if I do this? Or what can I do to do this? You know, I think so. Yeah, I think that's my biggest tip. Another one will probably be just to, again, go back to the beginning of our conversation. Don't be afraid to take a risk, because I think we're in the world now of the idea of creativity is just booming. Everyone's coming out with ideas. Not all of them are successful, obviously, but risks and taking risks and thinking of ideas and not being afraid to act on those ideas is how new things get created. And I think we're in a creation vibe in the world right now, and it's something that we can definitely add on to. So those two things.
Some great tips. So right now, what are some upcoming projects? And like I said, you can elaborate to whatever you want to. What's some just some future projects that you're working on right now that for you excites you?
Yeah, right now we are kind of in the middle-ish tech week-ish for Welcome to Sleepy Hollow at OTC next door. So that opens on the 6th and runs to the October 29th. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 2 shows on Saturday. Other than that, I'm doing a dance concert for Southwestern College. I'm a choreographer and the lighting designer for the whole show. What else am I doing? I think that's it, to be honest, which is kind of crazy to say. Yeah, just those two main things.
All right, cool. And I know I'll be getting some tickets for the Sleepy Hollow. When they said it was horror / steampunk, I was already in. Sign me up on that one.
Yeah. So it's a brand new music, brand new adaptation of the show, of the story, I'll say.
That's cool. So yeah, I can't wait to see that. I'm definitely going to check that out. So right now, before we sign off, what are some words of wisdom that you can provide our audience? Just something that may resonate with people's hearts and minds.
My biggest thing that I tell myself every day is I am enough. That's it.
Like it. Simple yet powerful. That is,
yeah.
Be surprised how many people don't say that to themselves.
Right. Yeah.
So how can people get in touch with you and sort of be engrossed in everything that you have going on? What's the best way to get in contact with you?
Probably Instagram. It's at Blax Paradise, BLAX Paradise, PARADISE. I could spell, I promise. Instagram, yeah, that's probably the best way. Or email me at blax@oceansidetheatre.org.
All right, good deal. Well, hey, this is another great episode. First of all, thank you to my sponsors. First of all, Oceanside Comic Book Shop. I've got one of the shirts on. been a new sponsor of mine for the show. So your friendly neighborhood comic book shop that's in Oceanside, California. I am a comic book nerd, so I always got to swing by every week, check out everything they got going on. I actually have some hand drawn coffee cups that I've done. I have on display. Speaking of which, I do have a John Wick cup that I did for them. That's at the shop.
Amazing.
But yeah, go by, check them out whenever you get a chance. For everyone that's listening to this, check it out, support your small businesses. And then other sponsors, Elevate Coffee Trading is one of my coffee sponsors based out of Dallas, Texas area. And every drop that they extract helps with coffee producing countries like Guatemala and areas in the United States. So they have an incredible mission. A lot of things they have going on. They've been a sponsor with me for years, and like I said, I do client work with them too as well. So we've had a great partnership. So check them out at Elevate Coffee Trading, and then also No Look. They actually produce high quality handmade flannel and accessories based right here in Oceanside. I love their brand, love their mission, and I just like their whole vibe. So they've been a cool sponsor for the show as well. And if you for anybody that's looking to support the show in any form of fashion, you can go to www.buymeacoffee.com/The Creative Brew, and for the price of a cup of coffee, give or take inflation, you can help support this show. So everything helps, and like I said, that keeps me, interviewing amazing people like Kevin and other artists and creators and musicians. So like I said, that helps keep everything going. And like I said, I love doing this. I love sharing stories. And at the same time too, that gives me the insights and tips and wisdom that I need. And I'm still learning. That I think that helps with the creative journey. And that's what I want to share. So other than that, hey, this is another great episode with me, with Kevin. This is The Creative Brew. Be creative, stay inspired. All the wins and the outs and the smiles and frowns. They will tell you, settle down, stay on the ground. But no